I'd always been afraid of the dark. As a child, it was an irrational fear that my parents dismissed with a comforting nightlight and assurances that monsters weren't real. But what if they were wrong? What if the monsters hid in places they couldn't see, lurking under my bed, waiting for the perfect moment to strike? I was 12 now, and I'd outgrown my nightlight, but the fear still gnawed at me every night as I lay in my dimly lit room. The shadows seemed to twist and shift, taking on eerie shapes that danced along the walls. And beneath the heavy quilt, I could feel a presence, an ominous weight that seemed to grow as the hours passed. My parents had long stopped listening to my pleas about the thing under my bed. They thought it was just a phase, a product of an overactive imagination. But I knew better. I'd heard the scratching, the soft guttural whispers that seeped into my ears as I tried to sleep. It was real, and it was there. One night, unable to bear it any longer, I decided to confront the monster under my bed. My heart pounded like a drum in my chest as I slowly slid off the edge of the mattress, my bare feet landing on the cold wooden floor. I reached for the dim nightlight on my bedside table and flicked it on, casting a feeble yellow glow across the room. With a deep breath, I knelt down and peered beneath the bed. At first, all I saw were old toys, dust bunnies, and the forgotten socks that had fallen down there over the years. But then I noticed something that sent a shiver down my spine. A pair of glistening, malevolent eyes stared back at me from the darkness. The creature's eyes were a deep, soulless black, like two endless voids that seemed to absorb all the light in the room. I let out a gasp, but the thing under the bed didn't move. It just watched me, unblinking, with a predatory intensity that sent waves of terror through me. I stumbled backward, my heart racing, and as I did, the creature's misshapen, elongated head came into view. It had a mouth full of jagged, razor-sharp teeth, each one dripping with a foul, viscous liquid. The stench that wafted from beneath the bed was putrid, like a rotting carcass left out in the sun for days. I knew I had to get out of there, but my legs felt like jelly, and my voice caught in my throat. The monster under the bed shifted, a grotesque, sinuous form that slithered out into the dim light. Its body was a nightmarish amalgamation of limbs and tendrils, and as it unfurled, I realized it was much larger than I'd initially thought. Terror-stricken, I finally found my voice and screamed for my parents, but the sound seemed to get stuck in my throat, coming out as nothing more than a hoarse whisper. The creature, however, heard me loud and clear. With a speed that defied its grotesque appearance, it lunged toward me, its gaping maw inches from my face. I managed to scramble backward, narrowly avoiding its deadly bite. I bolted for the bedroom door, my heart pounding in my chest, and burst into my parents' room, babbling incoherently about the monster under my bed. My parents rushed back to my room, but when they looked under the bed, there was nothing there, just the usual clutter of forgotten childhood belongings. They reassured me that it was just a nightmare, that monsters weren't real, and that I needed to calm down. But I knew the truth. I knew what I had seen, what I had felt, and the terror that still pulsed through my veins. I couldn't sleep that night, or any night after that. The fear of the creature beneath my bed never left me, haunting my every moment. Years passed, and I tried my best to convince myself that it had all been a nightmare, a product of my overactive imagination. But I couldn't escape the feeling that the monster under my bed was real, waiting for the perfect moment to strike again. As an adult, I never slept with my feet hanging over the edge of the bed. I always kept a nightlight on, and I checked under the bed every night before going to sleep, just to be sure. The fear never truly left me, and I couldn't help but wonder if the monster was still there, lurking in the darkness, waiting for me to let my guard down.